I believe we are live. Hello, Anthony.
Hello, hello.
Sorry we are late, everyone. Just a few technical difficulties, and I'm just going to check from our
But
end that we're definitely live.
but I think
I
this might have solved it. So next week we won't have technical difficulties.
No, that is a lot better.
Well, actually, next week we won't have technical difficulties because I'll be in the UK.
Oh, there we go. Hopefully, UK. Where are you actually at the moment, Anthony? On a ranch somewhere?
Not a ranch. I'm in Montana. I
Okay.
I'm at my parents. My mom, she has a house. We've had this place for 20 years actually. Um,
Oh, cool.
and So we're staying up here because the weather is much nicer and more forgiving here than it is up in or down in Las Vegas right now. So it's much
Right.
nicer to be here.
As in Vegas is too hot, I'm guessing, at this time of year.
Yeah, Vegas is really hot.
Mm. Yeah, I can
It's
imagine.
114 degrees, 114 degrees in Las Vegas when we left, which for you guys to do Celsius, that's like 43 degrees Celsius.
Oh, yeah, that is
Um,
very hot. Yeah.
And then when we got up here, the temperature was 57 degrees Fahrenheit, which is half. So it was half the temperature
Hmm.
for that day.
Okay.
But it's been, yeah, 70s and 80s here since then, which is about 20, it's about 20 degrees Celsius, 20,
Hmm.
25 degrees Celsius. Yeah,
Okay.
20
Yeah.
to 25.
No, that is a very warm day in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Well, I
Um,
thought this week, I
awesome.
mean,
So,
yeah, I was going to say one of the main things that's come out this week is the time qualification list with, I mean, thanks to you, Anthony, we kind of already had a little bit of an insight based on your analysis in terms of who was going to be on that list for time qualifications for the majors. Was there any, have you had a deep dive into both the lists for the men and the women's solos? Was there anyone that you kind of missed or you hadn't thought of, or I don't know, something had happened within
no,
your own spreadsheet?
actually, it's not my list. It's Hyrox's list has had some errors that I've seen go
Mm,
through
I
in terms
agree.
of like people missing, but it's been updated.
It has.
So every day it looks like it gets a little bit more. So like when
Hmm.
they officially released it, like Morgan Schultz was not on it to begin with, and now she's slid in there at 26. Uh, they changed the date of acceptance too.
Right.
Apparently they're gonna the race from last year, Stuttgart, was
Hmm.
on September 28th, right? So that shouldn't count towards the Hamburg Major, but they have accepted Stuttgart as counting for some people, like Kate Davey, Ida Matilda Steensgaard, uh, and a couple. I saw a couple others of them, but those times shouldn't be in there because they are. It was past the data or the cutoff date or before. Like I didn't think it would be part of it, but apparently it is.
Yeah, so obviously they're going 365 days from the cutoff date, not the date of the event, do you think?
Right,
Mm.
right. But the cutoff date. Uh, so just as an example, they extended the cutoff date to like that weekend before, so they're going to
Hmm.
accept times from Maastricht, right? And Maastricht, I think, is the 26th through the 28th. So the cutoff date should be the 29th
Hmm.
of
Right.
September.
Okay.
Or is Maastricht 2 weeks before? I don't remember. Maybe Maastricht is the 20th and 21st,
Yeah, I can't
and so
recall.
then
Yeah.
Maastricht would account. Yeah.
Okay.
So
No, I mean,
there's those dates.
yeah. And I'm glad
Uh,
to see, like you say,
but
because I did notice looking at the list whenever it was put out on maybe Tuesday this week for us Aussies, I did notice there were some people missing, like you say, but having had another look at it this morning, it looks like Hyrox has fixed that up pretty fast.
Yeah, it's been fixed since it was first put out, because the first time, if you log onto the men's side, it had JK in there twice in auto qualifiers. It had Dylan Scott in there twice for an auto qualifier and a time. Sean Noble had his times split, so he actually had two places in there, down in the 20th and like 22nd and 28th. But now it looks like it's fixed. So you got Sean Noble at 9th with his two times. And then JK's in there once, Dylan's in there once. So it looks like it was cleaned up. And since it's been cleaned up, the only difference that I've seen between this list and my list is actually the acceptance of the Stuttgart race as part of being one of the majors that qualified them. Yeah, because I believe when I made my list, I was like, I would, before we knew the majors, or like even after we knew the majors, I had said that my cutoff was October 1st. So anything before October 1st, I didn't count.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But it looks like some of those did. Yeah.
They have counted them. Do we have
so we can go through that today? We can go through that.
I was going to ask you as well, do they have the exact date for the Hamburg Elite 15 major? Is it the Wednesday night, or do we actually know yet what night it is?
So I actually don't know if I'm allowed to say. They told all the elite athletes, but I don't think they announced which day it was. So
of course. I also know
it.
as well, and I don't think I'm allowed to say. But I didn't. Sorry, I didn't know if that was public knowledge yet. So we'll just leave that as it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure that will be announced soon.
Yeah, they'll announce that. I'm sure of it. And then, but the cutoff date for it is after Maastricht. So the Maastricht, so September 21st is Maastricht. So the cutoff date must be September 22nd. So anything 365 days before September 22nd, that's your window.
Okay. I mean, I'd love to dive into it, Anthony, because I did see, I'm just actually pulling it up on my phone, the lovely Greg from Rox Life actually did a post, I think it was only a few hours ago, as we speak, just in terms of some of the elite athletes who, have been racing for a number of years, but aren't actually currently in the top 15. So they're going to have to be racing pretty soon. And I think one of the most notable is that Meg Jacoby actually isn't even in there at all because she hasn't raced. So she needs to get 2 pro times fairly quickly if she wants to be racing Hamburg. But then again, maybe she'll wait till Melbourne or Phoenix. So I just found that quite interesting, that there's a fair few athletes that we've probably seen a lot over the last few years. To name a few others that Greg has not shouted out, but named, Lauren Griffith, one of your athletes, Tanya Strossschneider, Jana Levenstedt, Jade Skillen, Kimila Massa. I think these are all females. He might do a post on the males as well, but there's a fair few there who've been racing for the last few years and aren't currently in that top 15. So it shows there's some probably rookies in the field yet again for this season.
Yeah, but if you look at currently the 15, so the 5 auto qualifiers and who's time-wise in the top 15, right? Basically, there's only 2 people that weren't in the elite field at Worlds right now in the top elite 15.
Okay, this is the women.
And that's Lena Putters, right?
Yep.
So Lena Putters, she has a great time qualifier. She has 2 fast races. And then Zara Piergianni. And Zara went through all the majors last year. I think she wound up 1 spot short 3 times of qualifying. And so she obviously has her eye this year on getting in there. And she is sitting at number 13. So, and her times are not old times. Her times are from March or later this year. So she has 2 times that really will probably keep her in there. So unless the field, she's 40 seconds clear of the cut line, the field would have to really get a little bit faster to catch up and push her out.
Yep.
She's looking at probably being in there most of the season, unless, like I said, unless they just come out really fast.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and hopefully, she's going to get in there and get her qualifying spot early to
Mm,
put herself into the World Championships. Um, you said Lauren Griffith, yeah, she's sitting at number 16. Obviously, she said it at Worlds after they won the doubles World Championship. She actually had a torn labrum in her hip
yeah.
from as far back as November this past year. And she was still able to qualify, still able to run a couple races. Took some time off between Vegas and World Championships. She wasn't going to skip Worlds. She ran to Worlds. They obviously she finished her individual race. They did fantastic in their doubles race. So she's looking to recover from that and come back. I don't know if she'll race individual in Hamburg.
Hmm.
Um, what do you think? We got to talk about that. And then, like you said, yeah, people just on the outside. Actually, what I'm most surprised about is Viola Oberlander. She's sitting
Mm,
40 seconds outside of qualifying, and she's been a staple in the sport for years, 6 years, right?
yep.
Uh, so I would expect her to regroup, have some good early races. I think she had some trouble with sickness and injury early in the season last year. She comes back. I think she'll put on a really strong performance and get herself back into that 15.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, looking at this list, Anthony, if we're just talking about the women now, we'll get on to the men's, but uh, I'm just looking who's likely to, I guess, drop off if they don't race in the next few months. I mean, I'm guessing Kate Davey, looking at her times are back in October, and then obviously
Well,
Stuttgart, like you say.
yeah. So Kate, even if they took her Stuttgart time off right now, she would still be
Hmm.
in. But and her second time, she could take that off and it'd still be in. It's just
Okay.
that she's not going to be able to race for the next 9 months. She just had surgery like
Yeah.
on her knee. So if you want to go check out her stories on that, like she's going to document her whole recovery. I feel bad for her, but she's going to miss at least the first three majors.
Hmm.
So she's in recovery,
Hmm.
and we're really hoping that she can come back and race later in the season this year, though. Very late in the
Yeah.
season this year,
Yeah, definitely.
uh,
And what about
and get that
looking at,
opportunity.
yeah, I mean, looking at Ida Mathilde Steensgaard, who's in 15th place at the moment. I mean, one of her times is Stuttgart, and then her second time there is from, November last year. Do you know what off the top of your head, Anthony, or do you have it in front of you at all in terms of where she might drop to once those two times drop off?
Yeah. So actually, Ida's times, if she needs to go race a couple more times because
Hmm.
she's in for this race. She'll have the 102.35 from what is that Hamburg last year, and
Yeah.
then but after this Hamburg race this year, that time won't qualify her for Melbourne. She has a 102.46 from Hong Kong and a 103.10 from Berlin. Um, so she'll be sitting in that high 102s, which will put her outside of the qualifying. So she really needs to go get either a good time in Hamburg or race a couple times in the pro races to get her time down, or else she'll be forced out to about 22nd area.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see as the first major approaches us, which would be what? I mean, maybe 2 months away, a little over 2 months away, I guess.
Yeah, so the first major you're looking at is 9 weeks away.
Hmm. And between now and then, for those listening, watching, who don't know, we've only got, I'm just looking here at the upcoming, Hyrox events. So I guess opportunities for any athletes to go and race. There's really none in America other than in Mexico. So you've got
So
Yokohama, you've
yeah,
got Beijing. We have got Perth, so we have got an Australian one. Not that there's any females in Australia who, to be honest, are going to be able to um, get up there in that ranking. There's really not anyone else within that top 40. We can get into the males in a sec because there are some there. But then, yeah, Acapulco in Mexico. There's really only
So
six
yeah,
opportunities worldwide.
uh, I think the only one would be Jess Petro. She
Hmm.
has a 102.23 that'll fall off right after Hamburg, which is her best time or second best time right now. But once that falls off, her third best time is from Worlds, where she ran a 102.51.
Yep.
So those her 101 from was at Glasgow and her 102.51
Hmm.
from Worlds, those will average out. It'll take her down a little, like it'll drop her to about 14th, 13th or 14th place, but it's not going to bring her out of the 15. It'll
Yeah.
just depend on what the rest of the field has done up until that point, and that's assuming, if she doesn't run a good race in Hamburg, which she probably will. Uh,
Exactly.
and
I'd say
then
she
you
will.
also, yeah, and then Joanna has uh, no need to go race either. She's automatically in for the majors, so
Yeah.
she's clear. And I don't know who the third woman from APAC would be. Actually, I don't know. Looking
I was
down,
looking through the list. I mean,
is Gabrielle
I don't
Nakora Baker? Is she from there?
not that I saw, and that makes sense because she has only done one solo. But if I have a look at, not that we can really base it off one time, but Gabby did come second in the Sydney race with a time of 103.22. So if you were looking purely at her one and only race that she's done, it should be sitting in around 27th spot. So, not too bad for someone who's really
Yeah,
just starting out in the solo field. She probably could be that
yeah,
third
but she
Aussie
could,
female.
if she went and ran a 102 flat, she'd be right in the mix there. She'd be right there with like Camilla Massa and Jana Liebenstedt,
Yep.
knocking on the door of that top 20 and in that potential roll down spot. Uh, Additionally, I was just looking at my list here. You might have somebody like Vicky McIntosh, who's in South Africa.
Hmm.
Perth might be one of the other closest racers for her, unless she goes to like Mumbai or Delhi or something. Uh, I would say, yeah, Vicky McIntosh might go there. Um, you just had a girl, Danielle Liu. I think she ran in South Africa as well. She ran a time of like 101.53,
Hmm.
and her other best time though was like a 107.17. So if she's looking to get another time before the major, she might go over to Perth if
Yep.
she was also in the South Africa race.
The other one I just thought I'd mention
Um,
from APAC region, she's not on this list, even though she has raced a few solo races, but is Calypso Sheridan. So she just won
oh yeah,
the
we'll get to
Sydney
Calypso.
Women's Pro. So her time for Sydney was a 102.48. Her race before that was in Brisbane where she did a 107.17. So that's why she's not in the top 40, because of those two times, the time difference with her Brisbane time. But she, I've seen her
If she
race
goes running,
now.
she just needs a time of 102.28 or 102.08, and
Yep,
she's in. So if she goes and runs
absolutely.
just 40 seconds faster than she just did, uh, she'll be in for. So I would expect we're probably going to see her in Perth and competing for one of those top 15 spots, especially
I
after what
believe
we'll get
so.
into later, what she just did on DecaFit, being with cementing herself as one of the top women in DecaFit
Yeah,
this past weekend.
absolutely. Absolutely. Should we have a look at the men's then? I mean, it's a shame that we don't have the
Yeah,
Elite
let's
15 doubles times out yet for those who haven't had a look online yet,
that's
but
just
hopefully they will come out soon.
that's just content for a later episode.
That's exactly right. Hyrox is doing it for our benefit. So let's jump into the men. My page is just loading. Like we were saying
Yeah,
earlier,
so
I
I got
did
it up.
notice. Yeah, I noticed, for example, Josh Van Zeeland, who was recently on the show, and I definitely have a bit of an APAC lens when I'm looking. I did notice originally that he wasn't on there, but he is on there, and around the position that you and I, or you probably more so, Anthony, from your analysis, had said around that 17th position. So Depending
Yeah.
on what Josh can do in Perth, he might be able to sneak up that list.
Yeah, and if you look at the list right now, you just look at the flags. You got
Mm,
two two APAC auto qualifiers, two American auto qualifiers, one German, and then if you go
yep.
down into the bottom there, you got one American flag, two APAC flags, um, and two Spanish flags as well, and then a little mix of the others. And knocking on the door, you still have, like you said, Josh Van Zeelen, Emilio Aguayo, another Spanish athlete, um, Richard Heineck, Ryland Shadeg is out, Sebastian Iverson, lots of really good people kind of just hanging around that 16 to almost 30th spot, really. It's pretty tight. And just a reference for how tight this is, this past year, I think when the majors started, you could have been like 57 mid or something, and you
Mm.
would have qualified for the top 15. This year, 56-28 is sitting in 16th. Um, that is so fast. It's almost a minute faster than it was this past season, just to qualify.
That's crazy for the males. Like a minute is a long
And
time in a
like
high rocks
even
race.
looking, yeah, and even looking at it, the all the auto qualifiers, their times would still be in on the time qualification. So no, nothing there. They still would be in. Um, even their
Yeah, which is
singular
I'm
qualifying
glad you brought
time.
that up.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up actually, because sometimes I'm sure you're the same, Anthony, where I sometimes read the comments and just what people are saying and talking about, and that whole argument of there should be no auto qualifiers. Yeah, as you've just pointed out, Anthony, when you actually look at it, all of the people who've auto qualified would be in, as you say, anyway. So it really doesn't change it
Yeah.
anyway. Which I
And,
guess can beg to
and if
then,
you take
yeah.
if you take their average, which their average of their best two races, the same as the other people within the last 365 days, the slowest average of the auto qualifiers is John Wynn at 56:15, which would still put him in 15th place or
Exactly.
12th place.
Yeah.
Uh, which, yeah, it's lower than he is, and he gets these auto qualifiers, but he earned that through his placement. So, um, if it was up to me, I actually wouldn't. I wouldn't have auto qualifiers. I would make everybody have the same qualification, but uh, it doesn't change any part of the race here.
The thing though that I actually
It doesn't
like about
change any part.
the thing I like about the auto qualifiers though, the reason why I personally actually would keep them in, is I think it just gives people another incentive to be going and competing at each and every major, or at least majority of the majors. I mean, James actually, my brother, pointed out to me the other day that him and your wife, Lauren Weeks, I believe, are two of the only athletes in the field who have pretty much raced every major that they've qualified for, that they've been able to race. Now, they might, Anthony, you probably know better than me, seeing as you're a coach. Are there any other athletes that you believe have raced every major in their career that they've actually been able to race?
I'm trying to think. I don't remember if Tim raced all four last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bo Wills has only missed one,
Yep.
and that was DC last year. Uh, Otherwise, uh, yeah, I think they might be the only ones right now in the top 15 who actually have raced every single one they're able to race. On the women's side, I would say I think Vivian maybe has actually she might have missed one. She might have missed
Mm-hmm.
one or two. She did. She missed Hong Kong. Um,
She did. Yep.
so yeah, she hasn't raced all of them.
I should say Joanna actually has. I mean, she's only had a 1 year of a season now, but she raced all four of them
Yeah.
last year. So did
Uh,
Jess Petro, to be honest. Yep.
I think yeah, but I was thinking I was looking at everybody who's raced all eight majors so far.
Yes. Yep.
Um,
Exactly.
I think Zara might be one of the only women too. She raced all four this year. I don't know if she missed one last year in 23,
Yep.
24. have to look that one up. That's a
Yeah.
good question, though. Otherwise, yeah, just looking at it, I think it might just be Lauren and JK who have raced all 8 majors.
Hmm.
Because I can't think of anyone else who has,
No, I can't either.
for sure.
And I guess, everyone has a different opinion on this in terms of, do you need to race all 8 majors? And obviously it comes down to the athlete. But I think a lot of people think
Yeah.
that it's money driven. And yeah, we're not going to lie, there's money in majors. But I think the auto qualifiers, they actually give that other incentive to attend those majors because you can very easily get your auto qualification for the next season.
Yeah, I think it depends on the athlete,
Yeah.
what their training style is and what they adapt to the most. I think that's the most important part. Like if if they're one of those athletes who only has, 1 or 2 shots a year, they're not going to go to every single major. But if they're ones that train consistently, high level of fitness, and then are able to get ready for them, I
Hmm.
think those are the ones that will actually um, perform at more majors. So they'll go to each one. Like, just look at JK. Last year, he would, even as all of his races, actually, he goes 2-1, 4-1, 4. Like,
Hmm.
that's fantastic placing. Consistently top four, winning 2 of them. I think that's super, super good.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
I don't think, yeah, you can't say there's any other male who had a better season than JK had. If these were series races and like had like some sort of series points total or series champion or something,
Hmm.
people would go to him a lot more often, and you'd see more consistent racing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see people taking them off. But the way the race is right now, it's here's the race and here's the finale, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
and that's interesting. Like, should it be a singular race or should it be a series?
Yeah. I don't
Because
know.
I interesting thought. Uh, okay, so did you see anything on the guys' side? I mean, just looking at it,
No,
there's
I was probably again
for
like
the
I
men.
yeah, again I was as I was saying before, I do very much look at it from like an APAC lens, and I was really glad to see, Tom Rogers in 10th place. Tom all last season was kind of fighting to. I don't think Tom was even, to be honest, I don't think he was even ever in the top 15. No, he wasn't because he went and qualified the LCQ. So, really glad to see that he's in a pretty safe spot there, in 10th spot, especially considering that one of his qualifying times is from Chicago World Champ. So that's not going to drop off anytime soon. And his one before that is from the LCQ. So I think Tom's
Yeah.
pretty safe all season, to be honest, to have the chance to compete at all the
Oh yeah,
majors. Yeah. Um,
for sure.
Kind of
And
just
I
look,
think it's
yeah.
interesting that if you look at this one, just like the women's side, there's two athletes who were not in the Elite 15 at Worlds that are also
Mhm.
on the top 15 here now, and that's Sean Noble and Aitor Lazar Azu Homilia. I hope I said that right.
Yeah.
Uh, those two athletes are the only two that weren't in the Elite 15 at Worlds that are now
Mhm.
in for the Elite 15 time wise. So they should, both of them, look like they're secure enough to get a spot at Hamburg.
Mhm.
And the two men that are not on the list is Rylan Shadag and
Mhm.
Graham Holiday, sitting down in 21st and 23rd. What's also interesting, though, is that the 3 people who qualified through the last chance qualifier, just like on the women's side, they're getting a shot at the except for John Wynn. He obviously was already in. He's ran a major, but it was his rookie season last year at Worlds for the Elite. So just pretty interesting. They kind of mirror each other that way. And as you said, the hovering about to get in is only 6 seconds off his average away as Josh Van Zeeland.
Yep.
So he's put himself right in it. It's like He's sitting right by people and ahead of people who have already raced majors. And so Josh has that 55-20 from Sydney. He'll be in Perth.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's going to go to Hamburg. I was talking to him 2 weeks ago, right? He's not going to go to Hamburg, but he'll be trying to get his spot secured for Melbourne. And all he has to do to go get a spot for Melbourne is run a 57-27 or faster,
Mm-hmm.
and his average goes down into the top 15. So he'll be looking for that. I'm sure he wants to get a lot more than that, but 57-27 is just that's what he needs. 55-20, I'm sure he's aiming for similar.
Yeah. No, definitely. There was another thought I had, but it's now gone from my head. What was it? It was about the males list. Anyway, it's gone. But yeah, as you say, that's what I was going to say about the males. Just looking at the top 15, compared to the females, I was looking again to see if there's any kind of in that 7 to 15 ranking who are going to drop off anytime soon. But there's not really, to be honest. Like Bo Wills, one of his times is from Frankfurt, but that time will still make the cutoff for Melbourne. Uh, so there's really not many. Paleo's time in Hong Kong. I'd have to have a look again at what another one of Paleo's recent times is to see how far he might drop down. But compared to the female side, it looks like majority of their times for the male side have been fairly recent, or this side of the year at least. Oh, we might have lost Anthony. Oh,
Is it
it's
delayed?
a bit of a. Just talk again. It's a bit of a bad connection.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's a bit better. Yep.
No? Yes? Maybe?
Yes,
Okay.
that's better. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Well,
I was
I
just
hope
saying,
you're able to
Anthony, that
talk during that brief pause that I was off.
yeah, no, I was. I actually didn't realize that you'd gone. I was just saying, to wrap it up briefly, that I'm just surprised that compared to the females within that top 15 list, there's not really many athletes that might potentially drop off very soon, other than maybe Paleo with his time in Hong Kong. But again, I'd have to go back and have a look at what Paleo's next best time is once that drops off. He might still, be fairly up there, or at least within the top
Right.
20.
So
So,
maybe. So actually, what you're looking at though is some of the people that don't have a time for Melbourne. Obviously,
mhm.
the top six are auto qualifiers, so we don't have to look at them. But looking at like 7 to 15, Rich Ryan has a time from Chicago last year. His PR 54-28. That's going to drop off before Melbourne. And his next best time is a 57-02 that he got at World. So his average is going to bump up to like 56 flat
Mhm.
or 55, 58 or something. It's not going to drop him too many places, but there are a lot of people between that 56.0 and 56.24. So it puts him at the front of that pack of people just right there ready to nip with one better time. Um,
Yep.
and then you got Sean Noble. His best time is from November 15th as well, so that'll drop off.
Mhm.
His third best time, which will be his second best after that one drops, puts him in the same situation as Sean, except for his second best time is a 56. So what happens with Sean is once he loses the uh, November time that he has, he's
Mhm.
going to end up with a 56.33 average that'll drop him out of the Elite 15, unless
Yeah.
he can secure a better time than his 57.03 from Worlds. Um, I think Bo's time from December should carry him through Melbourne, so he doesn't need to worry about that. He has plenty of time to get something. He's looking forward to Phoenix for time, not until Phoenix for time. Uh, and then so is Paleo. Paleo has a December time, so he doesn't need to correct anything until Phoenix as well. Um, but Yannick Chopla, who's sitting in 16th, he has a November time as well that'll fall off before uh, before the Melbourne Major. And once that falls off, his next best time is a 57:30. So that's going to really drop him uh, down to about 23rd
Mm.
if he doesn't get a time to fix that. So that's just kind of everybody else up to about Rylan Shadeg, who's in 21st, up to about him. He has his PR time, 55:53, coming off right after the Hamburg Major. He's been out racing. We've seen him in Delhi. You see him
Hmm.
in, sorry, you seen him in, was it New Delhi? Is that where they were? New Delhi and
This is Rylan,
uh,
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. Well, he's in both.
Yeah,
So
he was
he,
in
I think he
both.
did both of them.
Yeah, and I wanted to
And
mention
I
that
think
because
it's,
yeah, someone who's actually not on the top 40 list at the moment, but depending on how he races, I think he's doing Perth, is Dexter Buchanan from Australia. Dexter actually beat Rylan in Hong Kong over the weekend. I've seen a little bit of footage of it, and it looks like it really came down to the wall balls between the two of them. So, yeah, a great race
yeah,
by
so
Dexter.
Dexter should be sitting around top 40. Maybe I'm missing somebody, but he's
No,
pretty
I don't.
close.
I think, yeah.
I do. He should have. I think that should have improved his average to just under 58 minutes. But yeah, in the Hong Kong race, I believe Rylan ran an extra lap on his first run,
Oh,
and
right.
then
Didn't
played
realize
catch up
that.
the whole time. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yep. Cool. No, it looks like I don't know. I was thinking before, like it's making me almost want to give out my predictions for the Hamburg Major. I know you don't like to do predictions yourself, Anthony, but I always do, although
I
mine
I
are
think
obviously
what's
biased.
very interesting is that the you know how like some sports they'll do the way too early predictions. Like, so before the season even starts, everybody picks who's going to
Mm-hmm.
win the Super Bowl,
True.
or those types of
True.
things. How close do you think you could get if I said name the 15 men that are going to be qualified in the Elite 15 at
Oh,
Worlds?
that sounds so fun. Um,
But if you want to wait on that, you can
no,
make a game out of it,
I'm
or you
keen.
can make something, and
I'm
we can
keen
talk
to
about
go
it for
right
next week,
now.
or we could do it right now. Okay.
No, look. Okay, no. Let
JK
me.
JK
Yep.
taught me this new game. Okay. Called What Are the Odds?
Oh, I knew it was going to be that game. He loves that game.
I don't know how to play it. Uh, but so here, what are the odds? What are the odds that somebody that has an auto qualifier, so those tops, only looking at those top 6 men,
Yep.
what are the odds that one of them doesn't qualify for the Elite 15 World Championships?
I'm going to say fairly low. Like I don't want to call out anyone's names in particular, but
No, no,
I'm gonna
don't. Yeah,
say
just
I'm gonna say four or five. Well, actually, no, I'll actually
one out.
call out the actual odds. One out of six. So, I
Aren't
mean,
you
what's
supposed
your
to pick a
what?
number? Like,
Yeah, I'm meant to pick a number. So if I'm playing James's stupid drinking game, let's go with six.
oh, okay. Sorry, Lauren was explaining to me how the game works. So you pick a
Yeah,
big
I
number
was
or a
gonna say
number.
thanks, Lauren, because I
If
don't
you
think
pick
this
it out
game's
of
gonna
if you
work.
pick it out of six, I think this is gonna be. Yeah. If you pick it out of six, I think we're gonna have a similar guess here, or you're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to put the bet on it.
Oh,
And
but that's let's
in
do that for
JK's
the.
example of this, in
Yeah, what was his example?
uh, his example of this is he goes, for example, to play this game, I would say, what are the odds that you're gonna do 1,000 burpees right now?
Like me?
Well, like we'll make a bet about it. Yeah. Well, no, that's what he asked me. He goes, what are the odds of you doing 1,000 burpees right now? And he's like, you would say 1 in 100, and then we would both pick a number. And if we got
That's it.
whatever number we did, or you picked, then it switches. Like,
It doesn't work for this because this is a real life thing.
oh, it doesn't work for this.
No, I was gonna say
Sorry,
it doesn't really work. Doesn't
I
really
should
work for this.
exactly. I should learn how to play a game before I suggest we use it.
But it does work for something like 1,000 burpees. But how it then works, Anthony, is I think of a number, and if we don't match on the number, I can then turn it back around on you and say, now we have to match on a number. Anyway, we can find something else to play it over.
Okay. All right,
but I
like,
think I would like to do the guessing now before the season even starts. Maybe we do it next episode, so give me a little bit of time to think about it. But that sounds fun.
yeah,
I'd be more than happy.
Why don't we should get a guest or two on and do like, do you want to do like a season fantasy, like pick your horse, or do you want to do like pick your 15 that you think are going to qualify for Worlds and see how close everybody is?
Yeah, and we could each put $100 in, winner takes all at the end.
All right. Well, see if you want to get, we'll get maybe 2 people for next week to do this.
Okay.
With.
Done.
Maybe not next week, just because I might be recording this at midnight. Fine. But let's. Yeah, I agree. It should not be potential of 15 athletes. It should be, because then obviously they're going to pick themselves. There'll be a bias. They don't want to be like saying somewhere. It should be other coaches or something. So we'll talk about that.
I agree.
That's a good idea.
My thoughts were going not to athletes. It was going to either coaches or other podcasters, I guess. I'll have a think about who might be good to get on. Yeah, who'd be keen to
internet personalities for.
Yes.
There we go. All right.
No, that'd be interesting to do. Very interesting. But yeah, I'm keen to talk about DECA, Anthony. I know you mentioned it before with Calypso, because we, for those listening, watching, we had DECA Fit, or actually a DECA Trivecta event here in Melbourne in Australia over the weekend, which was great to see, because we don't get the DECA events here very often. And I have to say, Anthony, like, I'm probably not in the know of the times of DECA in terms of like what's a really good time, because we just don't have the events here that often. But I do know Calypso, like you said, did quite an incredible time with the DECA Fit event.
She absolutely did an incredible time, and I'm actually trying to look up her splits for it right now, but I can't seem to find the splits.
No, unfortunately, I tried to look at it. I tried to find it the other day, and I can't find it online either. I'll see if it is up yet. But the other day when I was trying to look, I couldn't find it.
I have the mile, or not the mile. I have the worldwide leaderboard for this year, but I do not see. Oh, this thing. Nope, this is the DECA Strong and DECA Mile. So, the DECA Fit in Shepparton. Is that right?
That's right, in Shepparton. Yeah.
Let's see if it goes. If I look up like past results, I can look up like other. See, I can find the LA, SoCal, NorCal events, but cannot find the DECA Mile, but they don't have their DECA Fit results up. So
yeah,
what we're gonna do, because there were 2 Aussies that did fantastic jobs over the weekend. So what we'll do is we'll just look at their overall time, and once we can get their actual time for their run and their stations, we'll use that.
Perfect.
Good. So looking at the overall leaderboard. So Calypso 148. 148 puts her smack dab in the middle between
Oh, I think we've lost Anthony. Yeah, I think we've lost him. I have the times here. I just don't have what Anthony might have been looking at. But Calypso ran a 31:48 Deca Fit over the weekend, followed by Nadio Fedor Rover 34:29, and then Brie Garefa 35:33. So yeah, I'll see if Anthony jumps back on, because as I was saying, I am just not across in terms of the global times for Deca, where Calypso would kind of be sitting. In terms of the males, we had Tom Rogers run a 29:28, followed by Scott Cummins 31:01, and Liam Needham in third place 31:16. So pretty tight race there, actually, by the males, kind of less than 2 minutes, I guess, between first and third place. I'll see here if I can pull up the global Deca leaderboard just to get an idea, because it's something I should get across as it's slowly growing here in Australia. I mean, anyone listening or watching who's not from Australia, this is, I think, the second Deca Fit event ever in Australia, I believe. So it's very, very much still growing here. Let me have a little look. Deca Fit. Oh, here we go.
Okay.
You back?
Sorry about that. Yeah.
No, that's all good.
What'd you get through?
I was kind of just calling out what the results were for the Deca Fit, like elite race here in Shepparton over the weekend. What I didn't really know, but I've kind of been able to pull up the leaderboard now, that I can see what you mean, that Calypso's time, is that really, I can see that your wife, Lauren Weeks, has the number one time at the moment, 31:27. And so am I reading that correctly, that Calypso's really just behind that, I guess, 20 seconds behind?
Yep. So Calypso's
Yeah.
21 seconds behind Lauren and 20 seconds ahead of Vivian.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious what would happen if we got Lauren and Vivian and Lauren Griffith and Calypso all in the same race.
Definitely.
Because obviously, like, those guys are they're flying around on this track. And big question here that I have is, did we just discover what the secret to DecaFit is? So Vivian, Calypso, and Lauren, all three are college level swimmers. Vivian, I believe, was at Virginia. Lauren was at New York, or is it called State University of New York's Oneonta, and Calypso was at USC. So
Okay.
all three of them high level swimmers. Is that just the secret to doing well in DecaFit?
Yeah. Could be.
Yeah.
What's Lauren's response to that?
That's she looked over at me and goes, "Don't put me in the category of those two. They're high level swimmers." But you know what? All three are high level. Yeah, I do think Vivian was like Olympic trials level swimmer, and I think maybe I think Calypso was too. I think Calypso may have been very high level NCAA, maybe even Olympic trials as well.
Okay.
But
yeah, well,
is that the secret? Is that the secret? Is
I don't know. Let's get Ronk to go do a Deca. He was quite a competitive swimmer, wasn't he?
I mean, just on the men's side, if you go to the men's side, Tom Rogers just set the top time of the year at 29:28, and he was a triathlete that did a lot of swimming. So there, is swimming the component missing. Ryan Kent, who I think has the second best time of the year, he was an ocean lifeguard in his past. So there's a component of swimming, and the top people on both sides who are running decafits.
Yeah, that's an interesting analysis, like interesting theory, I guess I should say. I should also say, Anthony,
So,
on Calypso, we were talking before that Calypso isn't currently within that top 40 time slot just because she hasn't had a second time that's within that range of the 102 kind of 103 range that she raced in Sydney. But Calypso recently did our Deadly Dozen event, and I can't really say what it was for. It wasn't like an official race. It's something that will come out and it will air later this year. But the time that she did there would have put her in, fifth place in the world for a Deadly Dozen as well. And granted, when she did the Deadly Dozen race that she did with us, she did that off the back of a full weekend of other events. So the fatigue levels were high. So she, I think, just is definitely one to watch this season. I think if she got the chance to race at a major, it could be interesting to see how she goes.
oh yeah, she might be one of the people that you put in as like next week or the week after, whenever we do this Elite 15 for who's going to make the Elite 15 at Worlds. She might be one of the people that's like, here's your season's dark horse. Here's your season's person that's going to come in and crack into that Elite 15.
Yeah. 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 I mean, similar to, a Sinead Bent or someone from last season. Definitely could. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I tell you, the
Absolutely.
Aussies we're coming for you all.
I think there's a lot of good talent out there that just keeps getting better and better.
No, that there definitely is. I
And they
mean,
keep,
even what you pointed out before. What did you say that the times for the men's now? It's like they're a minute faster from last season. So, I mean, what's that going to
well,
look
the
like,
women,
next season?
the women, the women too, because I remember last year, getting under a 63 was like, all right, you're going to be able to get in. You get one time under a 63, like 60-30. The women are also almost a minute faster than they were at the
Mm-hmm.
start of the season last year.
Yeah.
Um, it's not easy anymore. And I think this year the floodgates kind of opened, because you had 2 years there, like the 22, 23, and 23, 24 season. There's only two
Mm-hmm.
women that broke an hour, and then this past year you had, depending on how you count it, three or four more women also break an hour, the hour mark.
Okay. Yep.
So the times are getting quicker. With Linda, Joanna, and Vivian all breaking an hour, and Kate Davey broke an hour in the race until they readjusted the scores of Amsterdam. Like, there's your, 5, 6 women, then you could say have
Yep.
broken an hour racing.
Yeah.
Which, does that mean the floodgates are opening? Are there about to be more that are getting towards that top point, like
Yep.
as the women keep getting faster?
I mean, I saw even I think it was Race Brain put out this question this week to everyone that, do we think those world records will be broken again this season? Well, I shouldn't say again. Obviously, your wife broke it again this season, but the males one wasn't broken just by a 0.7th of a second or whatever it was. Yeah, are we likely to see both records broken? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
So I got some. Here's a little stats on that. Right now in the world of Hyrox, the longest standing world record is the longest the world record has ever stood is Hunter's world record when he broke the world record for the first time on January 25th, 2020. He went 57:34. Which at the time was like, wow, that's screaming. Look how many that's not even top 15 qualifying anymore. That's a minute slower than top 15 qualifying. But
Crazy.
he went 57:34. That record of his stood for 816 days, which is nearly 27 months. So 2 years and 3 months before anybody broke it. And then to Tobias Lotvine, he went and broke it. He held the record for 14 days before Hunter retook the record. So Hunter's current world record from Stockholm uh, is just about, it's just over 600 days old.
Hmm.
So 600 days old. He's approaching the 2 year mark. Um, on the women's side, the longest world record was Sarah Colte, who held it for 587 days, a single record for that long. Um, Lauren has held the world record currently. If you count since Vienna, she's been the world record holder, right? She's
Yep.
broken her own world record. She's held it for 538 days.
Okay.
But that includes like breaking her own one, right? So her cumulative time holding the world record within her career is 972 days, um, which is more than double, or almost 400, is over 400 days longer than the second longest career record holder, which is Sarah Colte. Hunter,
Right.
on the other side, on the men's side, this is why it was, just imagine how close JK got, 7/10 of a second. Hunter on the men's side, if you include the times he broke his own world record, he consecutively held the record for 1,432 days, and he's cumulatively held the record for 2,239 days. The only other men
Wow.
to hold a world record in Hyrox are Lucas Storath, who held it for 451 days, and Tobias Lotvine, who held it for 14 days.
Okay. Interesting. So it's
So
quite long standing. Like it's not something that,
his
yeah,
his record's been
changes.
around. I mean, unless somebody breaks it in Hamburg, it looks like it's going to be 200 or 2 years old before anybody can get to it. And if
Yeah.
nobody breaks it in Melbourne, like it's just adding days and days and days. Uh, Obviously, we saw J.K. get close. We saw Dylan Scott get close. Tim Vinish was about 30 seconds off.
Hmm.
So people are filling in the gaps, because when Hunter set that world record, like there was a huge gap in time between him and anybody else, right? Almost
Yeah.
90 seconds was like the next best time. And then JK hit his time in Cologne. JK hits another time. Other men have gotten down in the low 54s. JK has gone under 54
Hmm.
twice now, I believe, including only being 7/10 of a second. So now that all those times are filled in behind the world record, I think another time is coming to pop past it.
Yeah.
I would say the men's world record, I think, just looking at the gaps behind the record, the men's world record might be safer than the women's, or it might be not as safe as women's. I think the men are getting closer to more people being able to take a stab at it than
Yeah.
right now.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I really wouldn't be surprised if we see particularly that male world record broken this year. But 53,
No,
it's a low time. It's a very good time.
there are men going for it. There are definitely, like, I'm sure that plenty of men have their eyes set on, I'm going to get my qualifier for Worlds, and then I'm going to take tons of shots at going for the world record, seeing what they can
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. All right. Well, I guess we wait and see. And I'm going to go start preparing my top 15 lists. I'm really excited for that.
yeah, I'm excited. I'll go through. I'll do the same thing. I'll see. I don't know if I'll do it on the women's side, but I'll do it on the men's
No,
side.
that's fine. Yep. Yep. No, I can understand that. I think you've got majority of the women's side probably biased.
Extremely biased. My whole list will be filled out.
But no, and in the meantime, I'll have a think about who might want to come on. I mean, if anyone's listening, watching, and wants to give it a shot, let us know.
Yeah, for sure.
But we'll see if we'll either do it next week or the week after. We'll at least do it before Hamburg.
Yes. Before Hamburg, maybe
And before my
even
baby comes.
When are you due?
I am about, what am I now? 35 weeks. So in about 5 weeks.
Yeah, but that could be in 2 weeks.
I know. Don't tell me that. We don't even have a car seat yet. So
You got to get one of those. I think that might have been the scariest thing is for me was like they just let us out of the hospital. Like we had this
we,
little tiny fragile thing, and I was about to drive a car with her, and like the car seat, I'm like, oh my gosh, and
no,
yeah,
seriously, that's what I've thought about is the drive home. I'm like, I think that's when my anxiety will
it,
be at its peak.
it might have been the most defensive, safest driving I've done in my whole life. Is
Yep.
that drive home. And just like thinking about it too, she like it go get a car seat first.
Yep.
Make sure you know how to put it in. Like
That's what everyone said to me. Just make sure you get the car seat. That's
ha,
kind of
have
a
it, they just
kind of a
they just
given.
let you walk out. They just let you walk out of the hospital holding a child, like a baby. And this thing that okay, here you go. This thing depends on you for life now. I like,
Yeah.
whew.
I know it's crazy. Well, don't scare me more, but
Yeah. All they told us, all they showed us was make sure you know how to give her a bath. That's what they walked us through. We're like, okay, you know how to give her a bath. You can keep her like, okay,
you can
like
keep her.
we're going.
Oh, I know it's just crazy. But I keep telling myself there's plenty of people out there who, if they can do it, we can do it. So
They're so fragile.
I know, and just so little. So no, the car seat is definitely high on the agenda very soon.
Yeah. Car seat and a bassinet or
Yes, we do
something
have that at
they
least.
can sleep in.
We do have a bassinet at least, but I just know that I don't want to be having to go out mid giving birth or send my husband out to buy a car seat. So we need to sort that one out. Anyway.
And if you've never changed a diaper, get some practice because you're about to it's
Change a lot.
yeah. So
Yes, all ahead of me. Anyway, thank you guys. As we said, if there's anyone who might want to join us to do our fantasy draft, or we'll come up with an actual name for it, yeah, just let us know.
yeah, what we'll do is we'll set the ground rules for it. We'll do that. We'll figure out how it's going to be. We'll pick two people, and maybe Bernice, if you let me know, we can post it on the social media and
Mm-hmm.
show that it's going to happen and what the results are. I'm very curious who people would pick and how we're gonna like score it.
Yeah, we'll have to maybe have a chat about that in terms of how we score it, and are we having people? Anyway, let's have a chat offline about exactly how we manage it.
I think most like ESPN they call this the way too early rankings.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a few surprises throughout the season, but it's always fun to do because you can
yeah,
obviously base it off the last season or the last few seasons, but I think you've also got to have a lens of other things that are going on to be able to predict
and
what might happen this season.
I think we should also plan that like one of these days here, you're going to be in the hospital giving birth, or you're going to do it for the week. I don't think we should expect to have you on during that week,
No, I think so.
unless you want to be. That's going to be a,
I don't think
a
so.
new thing for you. So I think we need to get JK on in your place and have him do
Hmm.
a workout against somebody. So within
Yes,
the next
definitely.
3 to 5 weeks, maybe that needs to be a thing.
That sounds like a plan. All right,
I'll make sure
well,
it fits
we
in
shall.
his training schedule.
Oh, in his training, yes. Well, I guess you've got eyes on that, so
Maybe we'll just do whatever the GPP is for that day.
yeah, that's true. That's probably a good one. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. I will chat to you next week, Anthony.
Yep. Thanks, Bernice. Have a good one.
You too.